You know what's funny about privacy? It's one of the only things people judge emotionally and defend logically. Just say the words Brave browser in a tech forum and you split the room in seconds. Some people swear it's the future of private browsing, and others call it a crypto mining scam in disguise. So, what's really going on here? Why is Brave so controversial in privacy circles? And is it even worth using? Let's unpack this carefully and thoroughly, just looking at the facts. To understand why Brave sparked so much debate, you first have to know where it came from. Brave was founded by Brendan Elch. If the name sounds familiar, that's because he created JavaScript and also co-founded Mozilla. Elch left Mozilla and started Brave in 2015 with a pretty bold mission: fix the web. His argument was simple. The web had become toxic, bloated with trackers, spyware, and surveillance-driven ad networks. Users had no control. Advertisers didn't trust their metrics, and publishers were bleeding money. Brave wanted to flip that entire model, block all the ads and trackers by default, speed up the web, give users privacy, and if they wanted, let them opt into a new kind of ad system that respected their privacy and rewarded them with crypto. This so far in most ways sounds like a noble cause, right? So why the hate? Let's talk through the most common reasons people say they don't trust Brave and examine the facts behind each one. Brave is a crypto scam. This is the most common criticism you will see. Yes, Brave has its own cryptocurrency called BAT, Basic Attention Token. Yes, it has a built-in wallet. And yes, it gives users the option to earn BAT by viewing ads. Because of this, most people believe the browser acts as a crypto miner. Now, if this were true, it would be a massive privacy and trust violation. But we know miners often take up a lot of system resources, but you do not notice any spikes while using the Brave browser. You do not also notice any increased battery drain, and that is just on top of the fact that Brave has come out to debunk this claim. Also, the code is open source and independently audited, so it would be clear to see. So no, there is no background mining. Also, ads are matched locally on your browser, not sent through a third-party server. You can disable all of this entirely and still use Brave as a fully functioning private browser. But the skepticism is understandable. In 2025, when things involve crypto, it immediately raises eyebrows. And Brave doesn't help itself by aggressively marketing these features. So is Brave a crypto scam? No. But is the crypto site a bit too much for some users who just want privacy? Well, maybe. Now, this actually happened in 2020 when some users typed Binance into the address bar. Brave auto-completed it with a referral code that earned Brave money. This was a big mistake. Brave admitted it, apologized publicly, and removed the feature. No personal data was compromised. But the real damage wasn't technical. It was reputational, and these kind of things stick. For privacy-conscious users, trust is everything. And that moment made some people permanently skeptical. That reaction makes sense. Even if Brave did the right thing afterwards, it showed that they were willing to make behind-the-scenes decisions without user consent. And that doesn't just sit well in the privacy world. This one needs real clarity. Yes, Brave is built on Chromium, the same open source engine behind Chrome. We all know the problem with Chrome, especially with regards to privacy. However, Brave removes all Google services. There is no Google Safe browsing, automatic sign-ins, Google account integration, or telemetry sent to Google. Now, Brave isn't the only browser using the Chromium base. Browsers like Vivaldi, Opera, and even Microsoft Edge are all Chromium based as well. But Brave is one of the few that actually strips out the surveillance parts. So while it's fair to say that Chromium comes from Google, that doesn't mean Brave is secretly spying on you for Google. Brave uses Chromium for performance and extension compatibility. but it rewrites the privacy stacks entirely. Now again, Chromium is open source, and so is Brave, so these things are not hidden. This is a more technical argument. Yes, Brave does make some background connections for updates, for checking if a feature is enabled, and if you have crypto features turned on, it may fetch prices. But none of this is tied to your identity. Brave has detailed documentation explaining every connection it makes. Compared to Chrome, Brave leaks vastly less data. And compared to Firefox, it's competitive. Now, compared to hardcore privacy browsers like Movad, Brave is also competitive, but probably slightly less stripped down. So, is it perfect? Not at all. But it's transparent and leaks better than most. Now, let's talk about Brave's contradiction. Here is the nuance. Brave is trying to be a privacy browser, but also an ad platform. Now, this makes some people deeply uncomfortable. Brave's ad system is opt-in and it's also anonymized. But just the fact that it exists feels like a contradiction to privacy purists who want a browser that does nothing but browse. That's a philosophical split. Do you want a privacy-respecting web that still includes revenue and rewards? Or do you want total purity and no commercial layer at all? Here, Brave tries to thread the needle, and it's not surprising that both sides criticize it. So here comes the real question. Is Brave actually private? Let's evaluate Brave on the facts. Brave blocks third-party apps and trackers by default. It upgrades to HTTPS automatically. It has anti-fingerprinting protection by default. It includes a Tor browsing mode. Brave offers script blocking and per-site control. It doesn't leak DNS requests, and there is no Google tracking. However, people make the emotional crypto argument. But in reality, at best, you might say Brave is bloated. But this isn't a privacy issue as I've explained. I actually feel Brave can be very bloated myself. So in my next video, I'll be showing you how to remove all the bloat from Brave. People dislike that it is Chromium based, but again, this is stripped down and not a privacy issue. I guess the one real privacy concern is its past misstep, and this hurts trust. If anyone chooses never to try Brave again because of this, it's valid. However, as someone that has run multiple privacy tests on Brave in comparison to other browsers, I do have a soft spot for it because as far as privacy is concerned, out of the box, it really outperforms some of your favorites. I will attach links to this test in the description. So what are my final thoughts? Brave is controversial because it's ambitious. It doesn't just try to protect your privacy, it tries to reinvent how the web gets paid for. And that alone makes people nervous. But strip away the crypto, the branding, and the headlines, and what you're left with is a browser that's faster than Chrome, more private and more practical than most other open source competitors. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but it does mean that Brave deserves a lot more credit than it gets. Well, that will be it for this video. Remember to give us a like and share this video, and till the next one, stay safe out there.